Hello, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining. We'll give 2 more minutes. It's 8:02 on my clock. So we'll give 2 more minutes for the candidates to join. Then we'll start. Kindly hold on. So while folks are joining, I'll just share my screen. Just let me know if you guys are able to see it. You should be able to see coding page and a Google page. Put a yes in the chat window if you're able to see the screen. And if my voice is audible, you can also say good with voice. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. Just see if it's getting recorded as well. All right. So what we'll do is we'll spend an hour, 1 hour and 1.5 hours, maybe depending upon the number of questions we have and so on. So I'll set the context for today's demo. This is going to be a very, very hands-on practical demo on generative AI. I want, if you really are serious in understanding learning, please stay till the end, and I will ensure that within every half an hour duration, we will be learning a lot of insights in this generative AI space. All right, so without any further ado, let me quickly start. The first thing what we will do or understand. So this is a hands-on one demo. You don't have to do it, but just follow through. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat window. The first thing what we'll do is we'll go into our Google favorite or Bing or whatever is your favorite search terminal and then search something called as Olama. You go to a website called as Olama. Olama is a website where we are going to download. So this is a website where you can think this is an aggregator for all the popular Gen AI models. So this will host a lot of popular open source Gen AI models, and then it will also give a ability to run them on your personal machines. It can be your laptops or desktops. You can run them on your personal machines, provided your personal machines have some decent amount of RAM. If you have like 8 gigs of RAM, you're good enough to run most of smaller models. But if you have better memory like 16 gig and even better like 32 gig, you could run all of these models. So first things what you have to do, go to olama.com. That is where we will be able to download the Olama package. Depending whether you are on Mac OS, Linux or Windows, you can download the specific package. The same package would be downloaded. If I click on this, it will download the package on my downloads folder. And then you have to go through the installation of that package. I have already installed Olama on my machine. I am running on a Windows machine, so I've already installed that. So what you have to do is you have to download and install. Now, what will happen after you install is you should be seeing, if you are in a Windows, you should be seeing an icon, which is something similar to this llama. So a small baby llama icon will be there on your running on your system. And that indicates that the Olama is installed and your Olama is running on your machine as a server. If you're on a Mac, you would see somewhere on the top, you would see that the Llama icon running, that means that it is installed on your machine. So that's the first step. I'm not going through the download instructions and all because it will take a lot of time. Depending upon the internet and the size of your internet capabilities and all that stuff, it will take few minutes. So we will not waste our time there. The instructions are pretty simple. Go to the olama.com, download the Olama executable, and then once you run the Olama executable, you should be able to see Olama running as a server on your machine, right? So that's the first instruction. After you run that, you can run the command prompt. And then command prompt, you could say Olama. When you say Olama, you should see this kind of command stating that it will provide the available commands, serve, create, run, and things like that. Okay. So when the Olama returns this kind of a command, that means that your Olama installation is successful. So this is a test to ensure that our Olama installation is successful or not, right? So after I do the installation, I'll come to my command prompt and I do this. Now come back to Olama and then we will see what are the models this Olama is having. So I go to this model section and it will show me a lot of models. There is the models are sorted by the popularity, and the DeepSeek R1 is the model which is very, very popular. If you remember DeepSeek a couple of months back, it is the model which was released and then completely brought down the NVIDIA stock. Till that point of time, NVIDIA was the super duper stock where it was continuously going up, a lot of profit making stock for a lot of the investors. The reason was because NVIDIA was stating that we need a lot of GPU capabilities for creating the new LLM based models, new generative AI based models, and so on. And because of which there was a lot of popularity. But after DeepSeek was released, DeepSeek was trained on CPUs and which actually shook the entire market. If you can follow the NVIDIA stock in the stock market graph, you would have seen that there is a great dip a few months back. And that was because the entrant of DeepSeek. The DeepSeek was trained on CPU-based models and it was very cheaply trained and it is able to give a great competition to the state-of-the-art models. Now, all these models are open source models. That means that we are free to download them, free to use them. There are closed source models also, or we also call them as frontier models. They are the ones released by OpenAI, Gemini, Anthropic Claude, and so on. There are different companies which are releasing those closed source models. And then we need to pay an API fee for accessing them. So let me quickly click on this DeepSeek R1 model and then see what is there. So here we will have different parameters, different models are available and they are available for download. You could download these models and then execute them. Now, if you see the DeepSeek R1, the basic model, the DeepSeek R1 latest is the 5.2 gigabyte model. Where is it? 5.2. This is the DeepSeek R1 model. And after that, we do see this colon and 8B. The 8B talks about the billion parameters, 8 billion parameters on which this model was trained. Now, what is a parameter? Parameter, you can think it as a word, right? A word in a vocabulary. So there are 8 billion words or 8 billion combinations of information on which this particular model was trained. There are also smaller models, for example, DeepSeek R1 1.5 billion parameters, where you see the size of the model will be smaller. So if you have an 8 GB machine, a 1.1 GB will be taken care by the DeepSeek R1 model itself. Similarly, if you have like a 16 GB machine, you can comfortably work with the 5.2 GB model. The DeepSeek R1 8 billion parameter, you can comfortably work with. But if you want to go with a smaller model, I would recommend you go with the DeepSeek R1 1.5 billion parameter. and then it costs us a 1.1 GB of memory space on our machine. Provided we are not running any other superfluous apps on our machine, 1.1 GB should be comfortable enough for a 8 GB machine. Now, how do I run this? How do I run this particular installation on our machine? Is you need to run this command. You say olama run and then give the model name. If I want to run the R1 1.5 billion parameter, you can just copy this and then say olama run, and then you say DeepSeek -R1 colon 1.5 B. Then that model will be instantiated and it will be run. I'll show you in a minute, but let us see some other models as well. So this is about DeepSeek. Let us go about Gamma model. Gamma is a very powerful model. This Gamma 3 is a model which was released by Google a few months back. So one more thing which I wanted to show is that we are talking about latest and the greatest things. So Gamma 3 was released 3 months back. The DeepSeek model was updated 2 weeks back. There was one model which was updated 2 weeks back. And then Gamma 3N is 3 weeks back. And what we are talking is the latest and the greatest in the LLM market. So we are talking about the latest of the models. Now in the Gamma 3, if I come back, this is the powerful model released by Gemini. And if you see, the Gamma 3 1 billion parameter is around 815 megabytes. Very comfortably, you can use this model. But if you go for the Gamma's basic model, the Gamma latest model is around 4 billion parameters, and it will take a 3.3 gig of memory space in our machine. Okay. So I just want to get a simple feedback. We spend around 10 minutes now. Are you guys understanding what we are going through? So we need to download Olama. Then in the Olama, we are trying to look at different models. I'll show you a minute how these models can be installed on our machine, and then we can do some actions. All right, so how do we do it is, let me run the 1 billion parameter model. For that, I just have to say, clear it off. I say Olama, let me make it bigger. Olama, run. And then I paste the parameter 8 Gamma 3 1 billion parameter. And we'll give a few seconds for this model to be instantiated. So this model is already available on my machine, and that's the reason it takes few seconds and then instantiates it. And then you see that send a message, that information is there. So I can send a message. I can say like, who are you? And then it responds saying that I am Gamma, large language model created by Gamma, right? Wonderful. So what all things you can do? So let's break it down. So it's saying I'm a text generation and creative writing. I can do information comprehension, assistance in productivity. I can write codes. I can write test cases. I can replace jobs. I can do all those things. This is what it is saying. Great. So if I ask some more things like, so I want to plan for a vacation in New York for 3 days. Please prepare plan. I'm just giving something, okay? So a 3-day vacation in New York City is fantastic, and then it is giving me first day what you have to do, second day what I have to do, third day what I have to do. All right. So if you have any questions, please unmute yourself. I think Ritu, yeah, go ahead.
Hi, I'm so sorry I missed the first 4 or 5 minutes. So I'm just trying to understand what you're trying to tell us.
We are trying to learn about generative AI I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
directly jump into and show you like how do I have a local LLM model and then ask questions to it. So I'm asking questions. If you have any questions, let us ask. And then in the
Okay, got it.
got
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
So
makes sense. Thank you.
what we are doing, just to recap for people who have come a little late. So we're going to something called as Olama. We have downloaded the Olama package, which helps us to interact with a lot of LLMs. In the model section, we are seeing a lot of LLMs. The one which I'm interacting right now is called as the Gamma 3 model. Now, how do I interact? You could go and say Olama run and then give the model name. That will open up the model and we can interact with them. That's what I'm doing. I'm asking some questions. I wanted to go to New York City and do a 3-day trip. And that's what I'm asking. And then it is giving me a nice plan. So there's a question in the chat. Any hardware requirements to run these models? We do not require any GPUs. We require a decent CPU, and the memory capacity is what it is important. Because this is serving, we are not training the models. We do not require any GPUs. If we have a decent CPU capability with like multi-core, like now the MacBooks are also coming with 10-core CPU. And if you are decent enough getting 16 gigs of RAM, you could run most of these models. Okay. So now I have a 16 gig machine. So my machine is a 16 gig. I'll show you what all models which I have. Let me exit it.
I
Uh,
have a quick question. This is in our local machine, right? Like we don't need internet for this to respond to us, or do we need internet?
we don't require internet. Once the model is with us, we don't require internet. It's
Okay,
very
but then like the way it responds depends on like which one we pick, like um, Gamma 3.1b versus 3.4b.
yeah. 3.4b is more powerful, most bulky machine, and 3.1b is like a smaller model, quicker model. Right. So it depends.
Okay, thanks.
I'll just show you the Llama, the models which I have. So if I say a Olama list, this will give me the models which I have downloaded. So a few models I downloaded 10, 20 days back. There are a lot of models. There are some models which I downloaded almost a year back also. The 3.1, which was costing me 4.7 billion parameters. The Quen model is a smaller model. Quen is a Alibaba's model, Chinese model. It's around 12 days ago I downloaded it. It is around 512 MB. The Gamma 3 model is around 815 MB of size. So I am running a 16 gigs CPU machine. Of course, I have GPU also, but my RAM capability is 16 GB and I can comfortably run all of these models at once. All right. So
Yeah, I
let
have a
me run
question.
this DeepSeek model.
Yeah, hello. So I have a question. We can only install this versions only on Olama or anywhere else?
Olama is one of the way to install it. There are other ones also. You could also use um, Hugging Face based native applications also, but Olama is most widely used one.
Okay, thank you.
So now what I did is I ran the DeepSeek R1 1.5 billion parameter model, which is around 1.1 gig. So on the other window, we are running Gamma. Here we are running DeepSeek. Maybe I'll ask the same questions. I want to let us say, who are you? Who are you? So it should say that I am a DeepSeek model. Now, what DeepSeek is a reasoning model. DeepSeek R1, right? R1 is a reasoning model. That means that it has this thinking phase. So it tries to bring all the information at once and does the thinking and then gives you the answer. So you see this thinking step. This is where it does a lot of thinking, but it responded saying that it is an artificial intelligence assistant created by DeepSeek. When I asked Gamma, it told that my name is Gamma and I am from Google DeepMind. Right. Now I can ask the same question like I want to plan a trip to New York the 3 days. Please prepare a plan. I'm just asking randomly. Okay, now it goes into the thinking mode. As you see, it started thinking. Okay, user is asking about planning a trip to New York City. So the entire thinking came up to this point, and then it is creating the answer. Again, it is also creating in the same fashion, day 1, day 2, day 3, and it is giving me the information. Now, if you see, if you see the gamma model, it is nicely giving even time-based split, and then it comes down, provides the possible budget and some resources and other maps and so on. But if I go to gamma model, sorry, this DeepSeek model, DeepSeek is not so detailed. Are you getting it? We are comparing these two models. Maybe I'll make it bigger. So DeepSeek just gives what day 1, day 2, day 3 information. It is not giving more detailed models. So when we go for higher models, that's when you see more power, and then you get more detailed information. But it also cost in terms of memory capabilities. Because all these models are free, they are running on our local machine. Even if I disconnect my internet, these models will run because they're already on my local. All right, so we spent around 20 minutes now. I hope you guys are getting decent information. If you have any questions, please let me know, because we are going to switch gears. Fasten your seat belts. We're going to write code and then execute something and quickly create some UI to make this more insightful. All right, so I hope you got the speed. Let us get on to the code. So instead of me working with a command line, the most obvious option would be running it in a code. And this code is written in Python. Even if you do not know Python, don't worry, because at the end of the section, I will show you like how do we write these simple codes. And in next 15 minutes, you will be able to see that there is a very good code by which I can interact with these LLMs and also make my own ChatGPT in my local machine. Okay, that's the target now. First things first, I have a small code snippet where I will be using the Olama function. So there is an import package which I need to use. If I want to use Olama and Olama's model and invoke them to get the results, I need to use the Olama. And then you see a little bit of yellow color marking because I have not linked it with any of my Python. So currently I will link it with my Python environment. The one which I will be using is the Python 3.13, which is my default Python environment, in which I already have these libraries installed. Now, how do I install the libraries? I will take more detailed session, but for now, just understand that we have to do something called as a pip install and the library name. That library will be installed on your Python environment. You can also create sub versions of the environment, and those all things for a little detailed sessions. But for now, just imagine I have a very basic Python environment and I install these libraries. One library is used for displaying my content. The other library is used for interacting with Olama locally. And the third one is a very small and sleek, powerful UI library, which will help me to create chatbots. So 3 simple libraries we will be using. I'll run this play button so that it runs. This entire thing, the black color editor terminal, is a Visual Studio Code. If you are familiar with Visual Studio Code, then great. If not, this is something like Eclipse and other kind of editors where you can write code. You could use this for doing a lot of interactions, right? Coding based practice. So I executed this. The libraries are available now. Now here I have a single line where I am trying to select what model. I will be selecting the Gamma 3 1 billion parameter model. There are other models which already there. The Llama 3.2 model, DeepSeek R1 1.5 billion parameter model. But just now we did a quick check that Gamma 3 is performing better than the DeepSeek model in terms of how it is giving answers and so on. So I'll run that. And today is Saturday. I'm in India, so you're still in US, but I'm in India. So I want to quickly prepare a biryani for today. So I'll ask my model to prepare a recipe for biryani. Now, how do I ask? If I'm typing in the chat GPT, I just type the prompt. The prompt is like, show me a recipe for biryani. That is the prompt. But when I'm asking programmatically, there are two prompts we need to pass. The first one is called as a system prompt. System prompt is nothing but which gives the LLM a direction, saying that what is the scope of the prompt, what should it do. It also provides a role to the LLM, right? Now, if you don't know what LLM is called as a large language model. The Gamma 3 billion Gamma 3 1 billion parameter model is an LLM. So for this LLM, we are saying that you are a helpful AI assistant, just a simple system prompt. And then you are saying, show me a recipe for biryani. Two prompts. Once I set the prompts, then I need to invoke the Olama chat model. So there is a chat function. Chat function expects few parameters. One of the parameter is what model on which I'm running. The model which I'm running is the Gamma 3 model. And in the messages, it will also expect something called as messages. And in the messages, you need to pass the system prompt and the user prompt. Now, in the system prompt, there is a certain standard in which the messages are being passed. This is called as an open AI standard. So instead of just randomly passing information, we will have some standard in which you pass the information to the model so that all the models, like all the suite of models like Gemini model, Anthropic model, OpenAI model, Llama model, all those models have some standard way of passing messages so that it becomes easy. So this is one standard where we say like, what is the role? Role is system. And what is the content? Content is the system prompt, which is you are a helpful AI assistant. And then you can pass the role as user, and the content will be the user prompt or else the question we have, right? So for example, the question I had was, show me the recipe for biryani. And it will come back as a response, and response is a big chunk. In the response, we have something called as message. Within the message, you have something called as content. That's where you're going to see the information. So let me quickly run it. So it takes a second. So it takes few seconds. It takes around 20 seconds to make biryani. So let us see, around 20, 22, 25 seconds. We should get a good recipe for a biryani. All right, so it took 25 seconds. We are getting the time as well. And then let's dive into the wonderful world of biryani and loved Indian dish and all. And then it gives a nice, so this is called as a markdown script. And we're using a markdown to display the content in a markdown script. So it will have bullet points, it will have subheadings, it will have bolded text and so on, all those things, so that it will nicely have a flow in which the output is. So it is giving ingredients and then a little instructions. So it's making a chicken biryani, but for vegetarians, replace it with vegetables. All right. So we spend around 30 minutes, and I hope you are understanding what we are going through. Got it? Let us switch gears. We are in the third gear now. So there's a question that why does it take so long? The LLM is local. It's not about local or non-local. It is about to construct the information. So the information is constructed in chunks. To solve the problem, I have something called as the streaming mechanism. In a streaming mechanism, it doesn't have to wait. whatever we are seeing in the ChatGPT is a stream mechanism. So it feels that it is not taking time, but it is taking time. But I'll show you the same thing we will show you. Please wait for 10 more minutes. All right, we'll see how that is happening. Now let us ask to create a travel plan also then. Why not? If you have any other questions, please put that in the chat window. I'll ask that. So that you'll get a comfort that I'm not faking.
Sitaram, I have a question here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thing is like we just asked for a biryani. Why it is exactly it is taking out for the chicken biryani? Because biryani will be of different types, right?
No, if you know, biryani is not a vegetarian. Biryani is ideally a chicken dish. Ideally, vegetarian
We have
biryani is
a mutton
actually
biryani
called as
as well, right?
pulao.
No,
Yeah.
we have a mutton biryani as well, right?
Oh, okay, okay. I do not know why it is taking chicken biryani. It is kind of biased then, right? So we can say that
Yeah.
uh, the model is biased and probably giving the most opted option there.
So where this information is being provided is like something like it usually every day it will be getting some feed from the internet or as it's locally installed right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where it is actually getting the feed?
Correct. So the question is about where does this information is coming from, right?
Yeah.
So the models are already trained on large volume data. So when I'm saying training, the 1 billion parameter is the trained corpus on which the model was trained.
Okay.
And if you ask any recent questions about any recent news or facts, it will not be able to tell that answer. So it is only trained on a specific corpus of data, and that's what it is giving information. So to a fact that chicken biryani was already available in the training corpus, so that it was giving the information. Probably if I ask a question which is more recent, it will not be able to provide.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
If you have any guys, anybody want to try any other prompt which you generally use the chat GPT, put that prompt in the chat window. I'll try it out. But now let us see what is the plan it made for a 2 weeks vacation in US. Okay, so it is making a nice plan. New York and Chicago, it's more of urban. Then it's taking me to Chicago, 3 nights, then East Coast, Cleveland, Washington, D.C. Then it is going to where? Oh, come on. It's not taking me to the West Coast. I wish to go to Las Vegas and other places.
Maybe there is nobody from West Coast today.
Funny. Anyway, so you got it, right? So it made some plan. So
Yeah, one basic question, Sitaram. Like we can do the same in the web-based AI tool. So, what is the benefit for running this locally in our laptop?
because this is the first session, I'm just giving you the flavor, so everybody will get the flavor. But once I have a control of interacting to the LLM locally, I can then do lot of things on top of it. For example, can I train my own enterprise content on this model and then ask questions to it? Imagine I have tons of policy documents, a lot of instruction, a lot of information. Can I ask question to it? My chat GPT will not be able to tell how many leaves will be taken for paternity leave, and will I be eligible for so and so category or not. So those things are very, very company specific, right? So we can now open the doors to all those possibilities. Now, how do we do it is what we are going to learn in the course, but to our first session, this is kind of an introduction. Got it?
Yes, thank you.
So let us go shift gears. I think you're not interested in asking any questions to our local chat GPT. So let I shift the gears. So what I'll make is I'll make a small function called a shout. A shout function is one which takes a text and then converts into an upper character. right? So I give a small hello, it will make a capital hello. Now, why I'm interested in writing as capital to small letter is I'm creating a small UI, and the UI is created by a model called as Gradio. I have imported the Gradio model in the top. So it is with a shortcut called as gr. So when I say gr.interface, I can give the function name. What is the function name? Shout. Shout is having one input, one output. So input will be accepted by a text box. Output will be given in a text box. So this is a simple one-line statement. But what this one-line statement will do is it will launch a website for me. And if I click on the website, this is how the website would look like. And I can say, wonderful, and I submit, and that wonderful will be created as a capital wonderful. So wow, this is good, but this is a little smaller for me to get a good text. So what I'll do, I'll change the prompt, probably the interface prompt. I'll make it a little bigger. So I'll say I'll still use the short function, but my input text box will have 6 lines and output text box will have 8 lines. And then I'll say launch and click on this. Now it is making a little more bigger text box, and I can go here. I can say most capable model, put it here, submit. That converts into a capital letters. Very nice. But what is the fun if I am just shouting and not doing anything? So let us not shout. Let us make something meaningful. So instead of shout, I will call a message GPT function. So what is a message GPT function? It is nothing but the same function which we just saw in a minutes back, the same Olama chat invocation function, but it is wrapped into a Pythonic function where the prompt is coming as a question, and that prompt is going to the user prompt. The system prompt is same. The user prompt is the one which is coming as an input question, and the response will be going as an output. Can I get a thumbs up in the chat if you're following? We are just creating, it's not a very complicated Python code. We are creating a Python function with just this Olama call wrapped as a Python function, which accepts an input prompt and then giving some output. So I create this message GPT and then call with the 6-line, 8-line interface, and that will create another link for me. I click on that. Now this is a real ChatGPT locally. Okay. Now I'll ask, who are you now? And you should tell me who is that. It takes a second. I am Gamma, a large language model created by Gamma DeepMind, and this is great. I'll say, can you tell me a joke? Yeah. So there is a joke. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. And there is a smiley. Hopefully this is a good joke, but I'll say, can you tell me another joke? Oh, so another joke is not. Tell me a joke on general topic. Why did a scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in the field.
Sitaram, can you ask weather forecast today?
No, it will not give because
Just
it is
wanted
not
to
trained.
check this data is static or dynamic.
It is static. Yeah, but I'll ask. What is the weather spelling? Come on, weather. Weather in New York City today. Don't ask me why I'm giving more New York City. I'm fond of that. But as of October 26, 2023, the weather is this. So this is a trained on model which was trained on. So this is like the Gajini model. If you know the Gajini Telugu Tamil Hindi movie, you'll only remember old and then you'll forget. So this is trained on 2020, October 26 to 2023. That is the model. And during that time, it is 53 degree Fahrenheit, 12 degrees centigrade. All right, so let us go one more step further. So there was a question that why is it taking so much time? So I am not interested in waiting. So what I'll do is I'll add one single parameter called as stream is equals to true. What does the stream does is, so the output of the Llama models or output of the LLMs comes in chunks. So instead of we are waiting for 25 seconds for my model, we want to render the chunks as and when we are getting the chunks. Okay, so that so for that we have to just say stream is equals to true, and then the result is coming in chunks. So you just have to take every chunk at a time and yield it. Yielding is basically you're rendering the chunk in a real time mode. So instead of message GPT, we now have created stream GPT. Everything is same, just like the stream is a word, new model, and then I run this function. Let me put share equals to true. So there is one very simple parameter called as share is equals to true, and this will do a great magic. I'll show you what is the magic. Now, the good thing is you will see a link here, and then I'll go and enter this link. It take a second, and then it opens up a prompt. Now I'll ask, who are you? And as you see, it is typing in a real time fashion. Can you plan a trip for Bali for 1 week? Now I want to go to Bali now. In fact, I planned something in August, so this is just an information. So it's asking me to go first day, Denpasar, Semniak beaches, then go to Ubud and the rice fields and monkey forest and a lot of Ubud's cultural waterfalls. As you see, it is now not waiting. It is like typing. Did it answer? Someone was asking the question, right?
Yeah, got it.
Right. So it's not waiting. It is like completely typing. So I'm good about the planning and trip and other things, but does it have any information about what is this LLM? So what is large language model? So I'll ask, it is like typing. So it is an AI-powered text large language model. How does it work? It is a neural network trained on massive data. It does predictions, emerging capabilities. These are some of the large language models and great things. So it is like provided as a lot of information. Now, how is it different from Hugging Face? Olama and Hugging Face. Hugging Face is much bigger. It has a bigger ecosystem. They have a lot of models. They have spaces and lot many things. Olama is a subset. You could think like a subset. It is hosting your Llama models and it is giving a interface to interact with the open source models. Got it? That is you can think like it's a small framework created for interacting with the open source models. But now what I'm trying to put is, let me put this message on your chat. And now what I want you to do is click on the link and then see if you're able to see this same chatbot on your machine. And then give a yes if you're able to see, and then ask it a question and give it few seconds, because now it is traveling from US to India and it is running on my CPU machine, which will take some time. So I want you to ask it a question, any chat GPT kind of question, and then let me know if you're able to get an answer. Can I get a quick yes if you are able to at least see that?
Yeah, we can see.
So you're getting a response answer.
It's taking time, but yes, I can see the answer.
So some people are getting answers in seconds. So it's a first come, first serve basis, right? So maybe few people getting answers. So there are a few yeses I'm coming. That means that they're able to see the chatbot and also able to ask questions also. Okay. Maybe ask the same question like, who are you? It will tell that I am Gemma. So we spent like what, 40 minutes? Couldn't pass the server response, unexpected. What has happened? We see. Probably I'm not seeing it. I have to host the server. Maybe you can maybe you can refresh it and then submit again. Yeah. Sometimes
So,
it is giving some wrong answers.
so how is it public actually? How is it hosted publicly? Because you're running, it's a local LLM for you, right?
Yeah, that's the magic. So Gradio is built by Hugging Face. So they have provided a 1 week free subscription. So the link expires in a week. And for permanent hosting, I have to go and do a Gradio deploy in Hugging Face spaces. That's where you can go and deploy. So it is giving us a 1 week response. After that, the link will expire. But if you really wanted to create a chatbot, just like you have to say Gradio deploy and then you give where you have to deploy. If you have a Hugging Face account, it will deploy into Hugging Face spaces. So some people, they are not getting response. I don't know why. Ideally, it should give response. So anybody else are having problem? No response? I'll ask some other question. What is PE ratio in stocks? I'm asking a question. Oh, yes, there is no response. Some issues there. I'm asking it again. Now it is responding. I think there's some intermittent thing is there, so that's the reason. Just asked, who are you? No response. Let me ask again, who are you? It should respond. It's asked, it's responding the complicated P ratio, so it should respond that. Now it is taking time. I think many people are asking, who are you? Maybe it timed out. I do not know.
Yeah, it's working now. From B2. Yeah, earlier it was not responding for simple questions.
So it responded. So it is a Gamma large language model. It responded to me. Yeah, there is some lag will be there because this is not like a production grade application, right? So I'm sure you should be. So when you are getting that kind of an error, refresh it and then try it again. It should work. All right. Anyway, so I was not planning to talk about that, but I hope now you got a good insight of what this is capable of doing. Got it? Now I'll go one step further is instead of just having one model, I will have two models. So we spend around 50 minutes. I hope you are getting a decent understanding of what these models are. We'll spend another 5 to 10 minutes and then I'll open up for questions. So we will, in the stream model itself, now instead of just pointing to Gamma model, I will have a prompt as well as a model selection. Well, if the model selection is Llama, then I'll point to the Llama model, which I already have in my machine, Llama 3.21 billion parameter. If it points to Gamma, then it points to the gamma 3 1 billion parameter. And the functions are same, only that I just have this flip of the model, whether it is a llama model or a gamma model. And in my UI, I will have two flavors. The text box will be for input. There will be a drop down which will have llama and gamma. If you're select, by default, it will be selected as gamma. And if you can also select llama model, and then it will launch a little bit. Let me click on the local link. It's loading. Now you see there is an option for llama and gamma. The llama, we have not run it till now, so it will take some time. Let me ask a question. Who are you? Who are you to llama? Submit. So it will take some time because the first time the llama is getting instantiated. And then now it gave the answer, and the further answers will be faster. If I ask a gamma model, so gamma model will say I am gamma, and so the same answer. Where is giving more information. Okay. What do you think about Open AI Chat GPT? Okay, I'm asking the gamma and llama about its competitor. I'll ask gamma first. Let's dive into the OpenAI ChatGPT. Overall impression, a powerful tool, but with limitations. See, it is coming up with some limitations. It gives a lot of insights, but there are some limitations. That's what it is saying. Let us ask Llama. So chatbot developed by OpenAI, popular text-to-base interface chat. So it is giving nice pros and cons kind of a thing. So you saw the two flavors of, so the way Gamma is responding and the way Llama is responding, both are powerful, guys. It's not like one over the other. Some models are heavily trained on certain data, so they are very powerful in their own sense. Some other models are trained on something else. They will be powerful in their own sense. All right, so we spent around 50 minutes now, and we are able to create a very powerful UI. Now this is interacting with my local LLMs. I am able to create my own ChatGPT. Instead of interacting with the ChatGPT, I can interact with this one and still get good answers. All right, now I'll open up for any questions you may have. Do let me know. Let me know first, how was the session? Are you getting any information? So how was the code? Is it tough? Is the code tough, or is it manageable, understandable for someone who is from non-coding background? Like maybe years ago you might have done some coding in mainframes or Java or something like that. Now we are managing bigger teams. So if you are such kind of a category, just let me know if the coding is okay.
I believe it is manageable. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is okay for now.
Yeah, so as we go deeper, right? So once we understand the base concepts, as we go deeper, we will go into more complex coding, but slowly you'll get used to it. You'll understand, because we'll add layers like an onion layer one top of other. Eventually, folks will understand it's not very complicated.
Yeah, yes, Sitara, one question here. I just wanted to understand, from a overall program context, what can we expect, in the 3 months? I know that there's a course content that they share, but say, for instance, in standing in my shoes, now that I manage a larger team, and I really do know how do I position myself. How do I look at this program helping me in different aspects? I mean, what do I have as a key takeaways? What should be the kind of expected path here? In terms of the rigor of this program, or in terms of what I can accomplish.
Hmm. Okay, so let me give the program construct, like the way it works. So this program will be a practical hands-on coding base. So the rigor would be a little on the higher side, and I would urge everyone to have the same pace and rigor. While I am going through the examples, these are not like academic examples. We will be doing more industry-oriented examples so that even for different experience ranges, everyone will be able to understand that what is this technology about, how to do coding. Probably I might not do the coding, but I know like what are the models available, how the coding constructs look like, and how the applications are built. So that knowledge is essential for every experience range. And there are different people who will be coming from different backgrounds. There are people who are early freshers, or some people who do not have the coding skills. So for them, there will be some additional material which will be provided so that they can speed up their Python side of it and so on. For mid-range professionals, we will be talking about the coding, whatever I'm doing. They can go deeper into it and then create applications. Seniors, what generally they do is they come up with some business use cases. So I highly encourage people to come up with some kind of business use cases in their work, so that we can practically blend that understanding of how to create those things during our learning process itself. So this would be a 2.5 month engagement. So it will start from next week onwards, but will end somewhere around mid-September to end September. So that is the time the course would end. We will be focusing heavily on generative AI, agentic AI, building applications using these LLMs, and then we will be switching gears towards machine learning and other stuff. So while the curriculum which I have provided is a little flipped, it was more traditional in nature, where we cover the base Python, where we cover machine learning and all different algorithms, and then we'll come to generative AI, which is the latest technology. But what I'm thinking is I'll do a flip over where we will cover the latest technology first. We will cover all the LLMs, generative AI, and other stuff first, and then eventually we will come to the older tech. No, I'm not saying older means older, the classical machine learning part. The classical machine learning part is like, how do you build predictive models and how do you deploy them into production on cloud-based systems and so on. So that's how we're going to provision the course.
Sitaram, can you give an example of some business use case that can be solved with this after we done with this course?
Yeah, so from an LLM standpoint or a generative AI standpoint, there are a lot of applications which are building on-prem knowledge bases. So like policy knowledge bases, legacy, legal related knowledge base, compliance related knowledge base, HR analytics, and so on. So that's kind of knowledge bases are created so that we can create internal chatbots. Apart from that, there are applications which are using agentic AI, which can automate the entire customer service industry. Like the call center entire applications are being revisited, in which we can remove all the manual interactions with the call center agents, and all the information is being automatically fed using some of the agents. So this is one other example. From a productivity standpoint, there are a lot of applications which are built to enhance the developer productivity by creating automated developer experience, replacing the migration efforts. For example, I want to migrate from old mainframe code to a new Java code, or from Java to Python, C++ to Python. Such kind of large scale migration projects used to be there. Now those projects are now getting converted using these agentic AI process. So we'll see some examples of that. We are also seeing that a lot of testing-based systems are also being automated. For example, instead of me creating unit tests for the code, you could use these LLMs for creating unit test the end-to-end application, and give a testing score, upload the artifacts. All those things can be done by the agents. So the sky is the limit. I think there are a lot of applications which are being used, and we will see all these in the course as well.
For the demo session, it was very good actually. I have one question. After the completion of the course, what kind of roles that we can apply in the market?
There are different variants of roles which are available in the market. For example, there's something we are recently calling a role called as AI engineer. AI engineer is the one who is responsible for generative AI, agentic AI, that kind of roles. We do have traditional data scientist roles also, junior data scientist, senior data scientist, who have mix of experience, both classical machine learning and generative AI applications. And we have a specific role called as ML engineer role, which is the role which has understanding of deployment of these models. So deployment into using CI/CD pipelines, deploying it into scalable applications into one of the cloud providers. So all those things will be done by machine learning engineers. So different roles are there. In fact, there are roles with respect to testing also, like machine learning testers is one other role which is focusing on how do we test these machine learning applications, as well as the LLM based machines. So that different types of roles are there. As we go deeper in the course, I'll give you more flavor of that. But this is like quick view of like what roles are.
Is this our first batch?
I'm sorry?
Is this our first batch on AI?
We are doing a lot of batches. I'm doing already done 4 or 5 batches last. Already few batches we have run through.
Okay, any
Especially
certification that we need to complete?
Certification. So this will not. This is a course. So I have to check with the organizers whether they provide any certificate or not.
No,
But
no. In general, if you want to get any job like as an AI engineer, like
okay.
in the market, do they ask for any certifications kind of thing?
There are some cloud related certifications like AWS and GCP related ones for Gen AI engineer. You could do that after this course. With the knowledge, whatever you get, you will be able to know it. You will be able to write that certificate, but those are separate. They're not part of the course.
And in our organizations, usually they don't entertain the outside internet data, right? Especially with these when they're searching for like, internal data. After completion of the course, we'll be able to help within the organization on how we can set up so that it will not go outside of the internet data, and it will only fetch from the data from the Confluence pages or ServiceNow pages.
Yeah. That's one of the project which we'll be doing. So as you saw today, right, we spend what 40 minutes and we are able to run an LLM on local, but I'm only asking the questions which it knows. But now again, I can spend 1 more hour to teach it to search from Confluence, answer from the Confluence page, right? Okay. If you are not speaking, go on mute. Kids are also learning, huh?
That's machine learning, I believe.
Future-proof kids. Good.
Sitaram Bhaskar here.
Sorry.
Thank you very much for the wonderful session, demo on this, and I really loved it. And I'm coming from the security background. I'm very much interested in seeing how does this security or how to cross verify whether the LLM applications are safe enough. On that particular point, do we have any topic that would be covering about securing the app as well?
Yeah, so in fact, there's a lot of work which I am doing on that space also. In fact, I'm doing my doctorate in ethics, fairness, and data privacy. So that's one area which is very close to my heart. We have some governance related examples, which, for example, how do we determine hallucination? How do we determine, threats and data storage patterns and so on? Those things we will do, but believe me, like the
Sitaram
age is very early. Yeah. Sorry,
Sitaram
madam.
garu.
Cheppandi, madam. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
sorry to interrupt you, just for a second. Hello all, this is Lakshmi from Career IT. Just I thought of informing you about the regular sessions. Regular batch will be starting from Wednesday IST. The timings would be from 7 to 8 a.m. IST. I'll be sharing all the details along with today's demo recorder session, probably in the first half, if not by second half. So please go through that and please contact us, whatever the numbers I have provided in chat for more details. Thank you.
Put the message again, madam. Can you put the message again so that they don't miss it? Okay, sorry, there was a question on the security. I was talking about security because it is at a very early stage. There's a lot of questions still people have, like, for example, I'm using an LLM. How does security play with respect to application security, data security? In traditional machine learning, the security was sorted because we know the data is in a structured format. You could, for some columns, you could say confidential, non-confidential kind of a thing. But unstructured data, imagine I'm pointing it to a Confluence page where somebody was asking, right? Confluence page. In the Confluence page, there are certain sections which shouldn't be opened to the entire public, and there are certain sections which can be. So the security aspect of that is not yet sorted out. There's a lot of work happening. As and when we go deeper in the course, probably we'll get some more flavors to it. But we will be touching upon those aspects as well.
That is enough for me, Sitaram, and I'm very happy to know that you are also pursuing your PhD, and I wish you all the best. And if anything required from a security standpoint, I'm here. Very good friend of Vinod. We can connect offline and discuss on this further. I would like to be part of your PhD journey.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi,
Any other
Sitaram.
questions? Yep.
I have a question. So it's running in my mind actually. See, I'm from the non-coding background. I'm into the HR department, but I am more interested to learn to switch my job into the AI in the future. So how it is going to helpful and what kind of roles I should target for?
Again, depending upon the experience, I would recommend to getting into AI product management and AI governance, and those areas are very, very important and also required also.
AI product management in the sense, you mean to say business analyst, AI business analyst?
Business, yeah, you can give a different name. Like, that's what I do not know. This is the first interaction, right? I do not know how flexible you get into coding and other stuff, right?
Correct.
So if you're good in that, then you could blend into one of the AI engineer roles and senior AI engineer roles. But there is these product roles also which are available in the market, which requires both business knowledge and condensing them into requirements and getting the product delivered, right? So they're not delivery roles, but they are like technical product manager, or so that's the exact name they call. And then they have both the flavor of technology as well as the domain skill. So those are the roles which are generally suited with one interaction which I have with you. I think that's the roles which should be suited. But I don't limit them because I know I have my students who are from finance background. They switched into AI. So like somebody who did not do coding in their life. They're completely on the finance and chartered accounting background. Those people also shifted. So sky is the limit. There's no such dearth of opportunities and jobs. Definitely, this area is going to stay for a longer time. So there will be opportunities and openings. All we need to do is equip ourselves with all the latest things happening, and then get a little uh, practice also, depending upon our experience. So that's what I would say.
Okay, sure, Sitaram. If I want to target for product owner, so is this training helpful to me?
This will give you both flavors, a technical and the product background, but you need to have a focused focus on those roles.
Okay. Thank you, Sitaram.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? I'll stay for a few more minutes. Don't worry, guys. I'll stay for a few more minutes. I know that it is very late for you, but please bear with me. We will spend quality time. Any other questions?
Hi Sitaram, this is Pavan.
Yes, Pavan.
So basically the question is like, are we using the AI as a consumer or a developer after once we are done with the course, or it's both?
It is both. It is both. So we will learn from a developer standpoint also.
Okay.
What we're going to cover is what I call it as applied AI. That means that in learning AI, we also have a theoretical concept. Imagine if I am doing um, MS in machine learning or MS in IT or something like that, then there are a lot of theoretical concepts you learn. How a model is created, what is math behind the model, how you define a model, and all that stuff, right? So that part is the theoretical AI. So we will be covering the applied AI. That means that how do I imagine I have this model? How do I build a product with it? How do I use it in production? How do I deploy it? All those things which are required for the applied AI side of it. That's what we're going to learn.
Okay. On top of further question, let's say if you're just learning path could be something like Python and then machine learning followed by DL and NLP and other stuff basically. So if the machine learning needs some maths background as well, like algebra, linear algebra, and
Correct.
yeah.
So what I'm going to do is, yes, if I cover all of those things, then this will be a 4-month course, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Just
So
want to
what
know
I'm
other
doing
glimpse on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm doing is, so there are my course only. I have created courses on math and statistics and Python, like Python basics and all. So those courses will be provided to you for free, and the additional material will be available whenever if somebody is like really interested to dive into mathematical concepts and so on. So they can spend extra time and then go through so that will be like a recorded course material. Okay, where while we are providing that, you will get those things also. So that wherever your feasible time over weekends or sometime, you can go through the material. It will be around 15 to 20 hours worth of course.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Sitaram. So I'm from the DevOps background. So after the completion of the course, how comfortable will you be cracking the interview?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm from the DevOps background. So yeah. So I'm
Can
saying
we
like
raise the hand? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Sitaram. So I'm saying like I'm from the DevOps background. So after the completion of the course, how comfortable are we be like cracking the interviews?
You should focus on ML ops, ML engineer role. ML engineer is a role which is very close to DevOps. So people who are responsible for deploying production grade application, maintaining the models, doing all that stuff is a very powerful role, which will need the knowledge of DevOps, deployments, Dockers, Kubernetes, and that kind of skill set, CI/CD pipeline. So the exact role is called as ML engineer role. That is the one you should target. And there are many jobs for that.
Yeah, so my thing is after completion of the course, if I apply for the ML positions, how how comfortable are we like cracking the interviews?
It depends. I think my answer will be depends on you. So what I do for past batches, what I did is, the answer is not straightforward, right? Some people are very, very passionate and then they are doing their exercise, work, practice, and so on, and then they will get the comfortable. It will take 3 months for somebody to crack that interview. That's what I say. So from the time today, it will take 3 months. So the 3 months, again, we should have a very focused direction. So for the past batches, what I did, I'll say, we have to do certain exercises. For example, imagine I am in New Jersey, and then I wanted to identify within my purview what are the companies, what job roles they are offering, what is my experience, how is it blending with my experience, what are the interviews, and maybe a month down the line, I will attend the interviews also. Then I'll know like what type of questions are being asked, then, whether I'm able to understand those concepts, whether I'm able to reciprocate to those questions and so on. So that exercise is very important. Many times people, what they do is they'll complete the course, they'll spend 2 months, 3 months, and then they start doing any exercise and so on. So I would very strongly recommend to do that exercise while we are doing the course itself, for people who are serious, right? There are people who just want to understand, what's happening in generative AI. For them, it is okay. But for people who are serious, we need to do this exercise in the first month itself, where we understand what is my target area, where sorry, I'm losing words, where I'm targeting, which location, what companies, is it consultant, non-consultant, full-time position, what are the roles they are available. I'll look at the job portals, then see the JD descriptions, create a list of questions, all those things, and then we attend the interviews also. Maybe we'll fail 1 or 2 interviews, that's okay, but we'll get the flavor. So while the course is completing, you'll get more practical answers. And what I've seen in my past courses is people have come up with those recommendations saying that I've attended this interview, these are the questions asked, so these are the focus areas, this is how the trend is changing. So then we will tune the course accordingly. This is more of a customizable course. It's not like a standard textbook, yeah, this is the first lesson, this is the second lesson. So that's not how we would like to go.
Okay, understood. Thank you. Thank you for the explanation.
Hey Sitaram, this is Ram here. Where can I find the course content?
I think the organizers will be able to share you the curriculum. I'm sure you might have got a message or somewhere where you will be able to see the curriculum.
Sure, I'll check with them. Thanks.
And that curriculum, don't go by the book, rule of book, like it's like a
fluid
template, like this, where these are the areas we are going to cover, but in depth we are going more in detail.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Sitaram, I'm from test automation background, like testing the software applications. And actually, I'm interested in this agentic AI. So how much value addition does this help me after the course actually? So what?
There are two directions, whether you want to get into the AI side of it or you will stick to the testing side of AI. So there are roles like AI testers, AI quality engineers, ML testers, MLTs. So there are those areas are also there, which, as somebody was asking, like how is the governance, how is the guardrailing, how is the product quality determination from a security standpoint. So there is a lot of focus on the governance piece, that how do I test these AI models before it go to production. And if somebody from a testing background, someone else who is from a testing background hearing me, I'll say that the first entry point will be that become an ML tester or ML QA person, and then eventually get into the MLE side and the AI engineer side, right? So that is going to be the good pathway for somebody to enter the market. And believe me, there are good number of jobs in that space also, because the frameworks pretty much will be same. How do you do API testing, load testing, chaos testing? How do you create test cases and all that stuff? And in fact, we will be using agentic AI and generative AI for automating all those things. Right? So somebody should be there to understand the both worlds, right? So people who are from the testing background, they are the right people. And if they skill up with the knowledge of AI, they will be the one who will be rewriting that automations rather than the other side. You understood that?
Yeah,
Yes?
got it. Sir.
Yeah.
Sense. Yeah.
So DevOps engineer, I just answered that. So there's a question on the DevOps engineer. I just answered the ML engineer is a role which you guys have to target. That
Hi,
we're going to cover
Sitaram.
that.
I'm from
Thank you.
data background. So would like to know like how this GenAI training could help in the real world in the scenario of the data engineering projects.
You are from a data engineering background?
Yes.
Then you are, so next step to data engineering is data science only. So instead of just limiting ourselves for data transformation, training, running Spark jobs and so on, we have to go one step further. And then the next, so you are already in the room. Okay. You just have to open the next door and get into the AI side of it. Right. So
So
data
is this
engineers
course
are,
covers like data quality monitoring and how we can automate the pipeline?
no, I understand. It's because I traveled that path.
Oh,
I've been a big data engineer. I've been that path. So that's what I'm saying. I've been in that room and also in the next room also. So the next step to data engineering is data science. Right. So when I say data science, don't think the traditional old classical data science. It's all comprising of AI, ML, machine learning, generative AI, and all that stuff. So once the data is available, the next step is how do we consume and create models of it. So for you, if you learn that, it will be easy because understanding the data parlance and all that stuff will be much easier than somebody who is coming from a different background, say like a mainframe background or somebody from a different, completely different ERP background or something like that. It becomes a little difficult for them to understand the nuances.
yeah. Okay. Thank you, Sitaram.
AI agents are also covered in the course. Yes, AI agents will cover in the first month itself. For a Power BI developer, how is it helpful? Power BI developer are typically in the data analyst side of it. So instead of just creating reports, dashboards, and so on, we need to get into more of data processing, creating models with the data, and then using them for doing some predictions. And nowadays, there is a new term coming up called as Gen BI. Instead of Gen AI, there is something called as Gen BI. Using generative AI to automatically create business intelligent reports. That is going to become coming in the market in the next year. So if you are somebody who will learn that, then using generative AI to automatically creating reports, right? Rather than somebody we require a Power BI developer or a Tableau developer or a ClickView developer, we'll be able to use Gen AI for creating that. We need to learn how to do it. It's a very, very early stage, but that's going to be a normal in the coming years. There is no course called as Gen BI. I'm just giving you that is going to happen. It's like how to use generative AI for creating visual reports. Got it? In our course, we'll understand that. Maybe if everyone is interested, right? As the course, so now there are like 20 or 30 people, but when the actually course comes, there is only handful of people who will be joining with me, right? So for those people, we will ask whether we want to experiment on the generative angle of creating visual reports. Then we will create a project on that. That's how we do it. So RAG and MCP, yes, they are part of the course. we will cover in the course, RAG and MCP. For guys who don't understand what I'm talking, please have belief in me that whatever I'm talking, I'll make sense of that in the coming few weeks and months. So some people get bogged up with like, what is RAG, what is MCP? Don't worry about any of the terminologies. We'll go as simple as possible, and then we'll make it fruitful. Okay, we spend around 1.5 hours, and I'm sure in this 1.5 hours, you have gained something, some knowledge, some information, and getting some direction. Okay, so
one final question, if for the kind of trainings, all these sessions that happen, do we have access to the video recording so that we can refer back? I mean, I'm
yes,
trying to understand. Yes. And
yes,
then for the kind of would you be having any kind of general counseling or something like that? Maybe 2 months down the lane, we might understand what we might be really interested in, or as you know that we come from different backgrounds,
yeah,
so to further understand what is the best course of action to pursue,
correct.
right? I mean, I'm just trying to understand. And also on the project timelines, you said there are some sample projects that I've seen in the course curriculum. I just wanted to understand, if those projects are the ones which we are going to, do in a generalized perspective, or we might also talk about some projects which we want to, see using these tools.
Yeah, I think you're only coming up with all my answers. So first thing is the videos will be recorded every day, and those video will be provided. Second thing is, from a counseling standpoint, it will be a one-on-one basis, right? So what happens is everybody has their own pace. So they reach out to me during the course, and then depending upon where they are, what they're targeting, there will be more of one-on-one counseling. Or maybe if somebody is like a group of friends, they're all targeting something. So I did that also in the past. And the third question is about the projects. The projects are templatized, and as I was saying in the other question also, that we would like to bring as much as real-time projects uh, into the course. And I would highly encourage, if you're really serious, I am very serious. If anybody is really serious, they want to come up with a project, and then we will execute them during the course as a more of a ad hoc basis. Okay, I will spend some time, extra hours, to trying to create a related material, make it simple, and create something. So that's how it would be. So today we have spent like 1 hour, right? And we got some decent understanding of how a model can be used, how to create a web chatbot kind of a thing. So the pace would be similar. So we will be going on project-based learning only. We will not spend a lot of time like Ashoka built trees and planted trees and all that stuff. We don't need all that historical things. Of course, there are many trainings which they talk on a lot of historical thing. They'll go, AI used to be like this and all. We don't need all that stuff. We'll get that GAN freely on YouTube.
Right. Thank you. Thanks, Sitaram.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. So we spend 1.5 hours. If it is getting late, you can drop off. But if you have some questions, I'll be staying here. It's my morning, so I don't worry. I just have to eat my breakfast. But I can stay for another 5 to 10 minutes. If you have any questions, do ask. Put that in the chat window also.
About those AI agents, are we like, how are you going to work in this training with the AI agents?
We'll create the AI agents. For example,
Okay.
we will create an AI-based call center agent, which will completely replace the underlying calls to the databases. It will completely replace the API calls. It will do product recommendations, all that stuff. I'm just giving one example, right? Likewise, we create agents. We will learn the frameworks of creating AI agents. There's one popular framework called as LangGraph. We'll learn LangGraph, how to build AI agents using LangGraph. And there is another one which is coming up called as Agno. Agno is also a very lightweight AI agent framework. We'll learn that.
N8N is one of them.
Got it? Any other?
N8N is one of them, right? Probably.
Can you repeat the question?
No, N8N is one of the agents.
N8N, yes, correct. So there are plenty of them. So we have Crew AI, we have N8N, we have Microsoft Semantic Kernel, AutoGen is there. So different frameworks are there. We'll see like most of them will have similar pattern in which the models are being used. So we will try the best ones.
Okay, thank you. Because when we check in the like internet, it is like so vast, we don't know where to start and where it's going.
That's where I'm
Yeah.
here. Right? So that's a good problem to solve for me, right? So I can stitch the concepts together. I can talk about multiple things and why some differences and all. And that's where my expertise would come. And I have not spoken about myself. My name is Sitaram Tadepalli, and I have close to 20 years of experience. I lead a large machine learning group for a large banking corporation. So I'm not a trainer per se. Training is not training. I'll not call it training. Teaching is my passion, and I love to teach a lot. I go for a lot of conferences. I'm speaker in both international, national conferences. I'm part of leaders councils for large GCCs, which are in India. And as I said, I'm doing my PhD. In fact, I'm doing a dual PhD. One is from IIIT Hyderabad on AI ethics, and I'm doing a doctorate in business administration from Rushford Business School. Two things are going in parallel. I have my MS or MTech from BITS Pilani in data science. So that's my qualification. I'm kind of a nerd, so you will not see anything great interesting about myself. I try to keep my health well. So I go for some marathons and so on. That's one other angle of it. But I'm like a regular individual apart from that. You will know more about me as we go deeper into the course. So we'll go get more personal, you'll understand more details, and we'll have more interactions as well. Then you'll get to know more about me. All right.
It's very rare to have the software person having all these qualities. Very good to hear.
Yeah. My great grandfather have my same name, and there's only one person in this world with my full name. So I boast that I'm a rare person. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, thank you guys. If you don't have any questions, you can drop off. Thank you for patiently listening. We will be continuing these few more session demos. If you want to get a flavor of it, you can attend the other ones. And then if you're really interested, you can join us. You can talk to the organizers. They will be able to facilitate any questions pertaining to the course. They'll be able to, if you have any technical other questions you want to talk to me, they will also facilitate that. Till then, take care and have a nice weekend. I'll talk to you later in the other side of the week.
Thanks, Sitaram. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sitaram.
Thank you. Thank you.